Welcome to Animal DNA, our extraordinary expedition through the animal kingdom. We'll explore the unique traits and characteristics of animals of all kinds, how species relate to one another, and ways in which they survive and thrive in their diverse environments around the planet. And so our journey begins. Today, we will approach with caution some poisonous creatures that seem like they could crawl from the cauldron of a witch making a potion. Scorpions, spiders, frogs, snakes. A variety of animals that you might not want to get too close to. Evolution and nature endow living beings with different characteristics for their survival. Venom is a sophisticated defense mechanism. Faced with the loss of a physical battle with other species, some animals use toxic or camouflage substances to escape, paralyze their prey, or even eliminate them. From scorpions to the beautiful jellyfish, spiders to snakes, we'll meet them today. Not only insects and reptiles possess poisonous substances. Some animals are decorated with warning signs. Attacks by paper wasps or umbrella wasps are not fatal, but their stings can be painful and are worth avoiding. A black widow spider appears to have a sign warning not to touch it. The poison dart frog is as bright as a caution sign, telling other animals that if they try to eat it, they will regret it. These animals have an appearance that means, beware. Don't mess with us. Keep your distance. Humans and other animals pay attention when they see something bright and colorful. Animals may possess vivid colors and exaggerated patterns as a signal to other animals to stay away because they are dangerous, or to attract attention so that unsuspecting passerby fall into their traps, claws, and nets. But often, bright colors indicate that an animal is poisonous, which means it carries a toxic substance that can harm or even kill another animal. With some animals, a bite or even a lick can be fatal. Predators quickly learn to not approach, and this can be an advantage for non-toxic animals that have evolved to mimic or resemble poisonous ones in order to better protect themselves. The milk snake, for example, is not venomous, but resembles the deadly coral snake, so predators stay away. Although many toxic animals have bright colors or patterns to give fair warning, others do not, and rely on camouflage to avoid predators or to ambush prey. These animals mimic their surroundings and blend in to remain hidden. There are examples of this kind of mimicry in different organisms. Insects, reptiles, creatures of the sea, and even plants. Scorpions blend in well with their desert environment, and being nocturnal gives them additional protection from predators, and to help them hunt unsuspecting prey. Scorpions often stalk upon the arrival of an unsuspecting animal, then leap out and attack. Some spiders are just as sneaky. All spiders are structurally the same, body divided into two parts, 8 legs, and, in the case of venomous spiders, jaws with fangs. They build traps with bark, soil, or their webs, then jump out and grab their prey. Many kinds of spiders also blend in with their surroundings. Others do not. Tarantulas are large, hairy spiders. Some have warning signs, such as stripes or bright colors. They are predators, killing their prey with a bite of their fangs, which are like needles used to release venom in the bodies they catch. Venom is a toxin that can subdue, paralyze, or kill. The tarantula's venom not only kills its prey, but also possesses a chemical substance that helps dissolve the victim's body to make it easier to consume. In addition, they can crush them with their powerful mouthparts. While they may seem terrifying, tarantulas do not feed on humans, and especially those from South America, are not aggressive. They are solitary, shy, and prefer to hide from people rather than bite them, which is why they may sometimes be kept as pets. There is no record of any human deaths from tarantula bites. A bite from even the largest of these hairy spiders is only the equivalent of a bee sting. Black widow spider, which lives in dark places, such as drainage pipes and under logs in North America, is not large or hairy, but has extremely toxic venom. The venom of this spider is about 15 times more venomous than that of some rattlesnakes, but despite this, its bite is rarely fatal to humans. When we come back, we'll head under the water, and then to the rainforests. We'll be right back with more animal DNA. Welcome back. Let's see if you can answer this trivia question. Is it possible that primates are venomous? And if so, which of these do you think is venomous? The marmoset monkey, the pygmy chimpanzee, slow loris, the drill? The answer is the slow loris. Did you get it right? Slow lorises look adorable, but they have a venomous bite. They mix venom secreted from a gland inside their upper arm with saliva to deliver a bite that can be deadly. Many animals use toxins to kill their prey or defend themselves, like poison dart frogs, tarantulas, scorpions, and creepy centipedes. Even the peaceful-looking jellyfish has more than meets the eye. Do not be fooled by these soft bodies, or the fact that these sea jellies are 99% water. Most of them are transparent and bell-shaped. They too have venom. They incorporate for hunting. The name Medusa comes from the fact that its shape resembles a head full of curls, in allusion to the mythological figure that had poisonous snakes on its head. Jellyfish have existed for approximately 650 million years. They are related to corals and also to sea anemones. There are several species of jellyfish, and even more may be discovered. Many jellyfish have 4 to 8 tentacles hanging from their bell. The tentacles are covered with microscopic stinging cells, called nematocysts, which produce venom. The jellyfish uses these poisonous, stinging tentacles for hunting prey. Tentacles are an excellent way to administer venom, especially for animals that do not move freely, like corals or sea anemones. Sea anemones are found on rocks and may look like flowers, but they are actually predatory animals that use a powerful toxin to capture and paralyze their prey. The sea anemone's tentacles are studded with microscopic, spiky capsules, and the sea anemone knows how to use them on prey that comes within its reach. A poisonous animal is any animal that has a way of releasing its toxin. Tarantulas have fangs. Scorpions have stingers. Bees and wasps also have stingers. Tentacles, as we have just seen, provide another effective way of releasing toxins. As in the case of the blue-ringed octopus, Haplochleina maculosa, which lives in Australian waters and is one of the most dangerous animals in the world. The poison it carries in its body is 1,000 times more powerful than cyanide. Its diet consists of small crabs and shrimp, but it may also eat fish when the opportunity arises. The blue-ringed octopus is mostly yellow or sandy in color, but bright blue rings appear on its body when it is about to attack. However, it will not do so unless it feels provoked. A small but dangerous animal, adults generally measure just 5 to 8 inches long and weigh 0.02 pounds up to 0.2 pounds. Just as many poisonous animals use toxins as a defense mechanism, various kinds of plants can also protect themselves with poison, including the New Zealand tree nettle Urtica ferox, the black nightshade Solanum nigrum, the Oleander nerium oleander, the castor oil plant Ricinus communis, the Rafflesia flower Rafflesia arnoldi, and the infamous carnivore Venus flytrap Dionea muscipula. They might be a danger to various smaller insects, with ants as their favorites, but these jungle plants do not feed on humans. What constitutes a poison to one organism may be harmless to another. For example, birds are immune to the toxic oil produced by poison ivy, and monarch butterfly caterpillars chomp on milkweed and take the glycosides produced by the plant in their own tissues. This doesn't harm the monarch, but does make it poisonous to predators. There are poisonous fish, like the stonefish. There are sessile invertebrates, meaning those which don't move freely under the sea, that are poisonous, and many other species which can use venom. One of the most poisonous animals in the world is also a very beautiful one, the golden dart frog. This small frog is a source of the poison used in the shooting darts of certain tribes in the tropical rainforests of South America. The toxins in the skin of these amphibians come from eating a type of ant, which in turn has eaten a poisonous plant. The resulting toxin is incredibly powerful, poison potent enough to kill 10,000 mice. However, these venomous-skinned animals are not aggressive and have no way of actually delivering toxin to their prey, which include, in addition to ants, small beetles, termites, and centipedes. Panamanian golden frogs are another species of South American frogs that are beautiful to look at, but deadly poisonous. One of the most feared of the venomous creatures is the scorpion, an animal that has been crawling around the planet for more than 400 million years. Like spiders, scorpions have 8 legs, but their exoskeleton is hard. Not as hard as that of a lobster or a crab, but quite strong compared to softer spiders. Just like spiders, scorpions live almost everywhere. From deserts, to pastures, rainforests, to prairies, and even near the seashore. Most scorpions are nocturnal carnivorous predators that eat insects and small rodents. They are venomous animals with a stinger located at the tip of their tails. Of the approximately 1,500 species of scorpions, about 25 species have venom that can be fatal to humans. In scorpion venom, as in black widow and cobra spider venom, there are neurotoxins that kill by attacking the nervous system, causing pain, paralysis, and eventually death from heart or lung failure. But the sting of most scorpions is more of an irritation than a wound, like a bee sting or tarantula bite. Even the fearsome-looking emperor scorpion, Pandanus imperator, which inhabits the rainforests of West Africa, is not much of a threat to humans, but still, may be best to observe from a distance. We'll be right back with more Animal DNA. Welcome back to Animal DNA. Let's see if you can answer this trivia question. Which of these animals uses toxins to kill its prey or protect itself? Pufferfish, sea anemone, viper snake, all of the above? The answer is all of the above. Even the calm-looking pufferfish is full of toxic venom. It does not use its toxins to kill its prey, only to defend itself against predators. When threatened, the pufferfish bloats, spreading spines all over its body that can cause a very painful sting, which delivers a highly poisonous toxin. Vipers is the name for the group of snakes, including rattlesnakes, that happen to be venomous. Snakes in general have the bad reputation of being venomous when many are not, such as the northern water snake, Nerodia sipidon, which is not venomous but is often confused with the dangerous and venomous water moccasin, Agistrodon piscivorus. In reality, of the roughly 3,000 to 4,000 species of snakes, only about 600 are venomous. Rattlesnakes are venomous, and so are mamba negras, as well as cobras. But most snakes are not. Not even the giant boa constrictor or the anaconda. Venomous snakes transmit venom in much the same way as tarantulas do, with their fangs. Bees are famous for their sting, but their sting is meant for protection rather than to subdue their prey or to be used aggressively. Like the scorpion, a bee's stinger is in its tail or on the underside of the abdomen. And interestingly, only females can sting. Wasps, like bees, are six-legged flying insects with a body divided into three main parts. The head, which bears the mouth parts, eyes, and a pair of antennae, the three-segmented thorax, which usually has 3 pairs of legs in adults and usually 1 or 2 pairs of wings, and the many-segmented abdomen, which contains various organs. And many, including this paper wasp, can sting. Fortunately, wasp and bee stings are generally not fatal to humans, unless a person has an allergic reaction. Heading from the sky, back under the water. The giant Pacific octopus may look poisonous, but it is not, although there are some poisonous octopuses in the sea, like the blue-ringed octopus we discussed earlier. Stingrays are cartilaginous fish, and a kind of flattened cousin of sharks, which have abandoned the side-to-side swimming motion of the average fish to use the graceful flying wings normally reserved for those of the bird family. Some stingrays and manta rays have spines on their tails, which can poison other animals. Like the bee, these ragiforms do not use their stingers to hunt prey, but to defend themselves. Another toxic monster of the deep, lurking in coral reef waters from Western Australia to Japan, where fish populations are varied and impressive, is the so-called lionfish, Pterosis antenata. It can be found living a slow and solitary life. And although truly beautiful to see, with its brightly colored vertical stripes, this fish is lethal. Those spiny fins may look decorative, but they are actually sharp barbs that can inject a powerful venom to potential predators. 18 venomous spines in total. The color of lionfish, just like poison dart frogs, is a big warning sign. And with that, our journey has come to an end. See you next time on Animal DNA, where we humans decode all the secrets of our friends in the animal kingdom in order to learn more about them and a little bit more about ourselves, too.